Hello, this is Miss Carrie at the Waukee Public Library. For this week's Teen Maker Monday, we are making nail and board yarn art. So supplies you're going to need to do this is you're going to need a piece of wood. It can be any size, shape, or color of wood. You're going to want a piece of paper pattern. It can be a printed paper, you can hand draw a pattern, whatever you would like. Unless you're super talented and can nail things free form in a good shape, you'll want a pattern. So you'll need your pattern, maybe some glue, some scissors, a hammer, nails, string, and tape. The first thing you want to do, you can also, if you want to, for your piece of wood, you can stain it or paint it. For ours, we're just going to leave them plain today. Then you're going to want to center your design or arrange it however you want it. If you don't want it in the center, that's cool, you know, whatever, it's your creation. But I just did a heart. That's a nice, easy shape to do. You can do any shape that you would like. And what we're going to do is around the edge of your pattern, you'll want to leave, you don't want to cut it right up to the edge. You want to leave a little extra around that. That's where you're going to put your tape, on the little extra part, because you don't want to put your nails through the tape is the main thing. That's why you want the little extra piece there. Do that one. All right, so it's good and taped on, and then we're just going to take our nails and pound them in. Not all the way in, of course, we want to leave some up. What we have are 1-inch nails, and we're gonna pound them down about 1/3 of the way, maybe half of the way. You want a good amount of nail still sticking up so that you can tie your string to it later. But you do want enough pounded into the board so that it's not too loose and wiggly. So I'm gonna pause while I hammer these all in, and then we'll come back once I have all my nails pounded in. All right, welcome back. Now that you have all your nails pounded in, about 1/3 of the way in was correct. 1/4 to 1/3 of the way in. You can kind of decide how much you want left sticking out the top there, and you can look from the side to try to make sure they're about in equally. No one's gonna notice if they're just a little bit off. So now that they're all pounded in, I don't know if you can tell, there we go, we can kind of see at an angle, you know, maybe about 1 inch to 1/2 inch apart. You can decide, depending how many nails you have, how many you want to go around the edge of your pattern and how far apart to leave them. You just want them close enough or far enough apart that you'll still be able to tell your shape after we tear off the paper, which is the next step after all your nails are in, is to tear off the paper. And it will tear off the nails just fine. It doesn't always tear off the tape so well, which is why we wanted to make sure not to nail through the tape. So here we go. All right, no more paper. Yeah, just a little bit. If those little bits down there in the end, if you have some tweezers or something, you can pinch those off if your fingers are not small enough to grab the pieces there. So now you can see just the nails, and we're ready for our string. So we'll go ahead and pick a starting point and make a little knot to tie your string to that first nail. Let's see if we can. Get that tied on there. And we're going to do it a little bit double just to make sure. This is crochet string, so that's about the size that you will want. Not too thick of a yarn and not too thin. Okay. Then what we'll do, I won't do for our video because I don't want to wait for it to dry, but if you wanted to make sure that knot was not going to come untied later, you could put a little glue around it and just kind of smoosh it in with your fingers and let it dry. That way it'll hold the knot nicely in place and you won't see it later since it dries clear. All right, then go ahead and cut off the tail, but keep the end attached to your yarn ball. And the first thing you're gonna do is to come up and around each nail and just loop around once. Keeping it nice and tight, and loop it around once each nail to do the outline of your shape. I'm gonna set it down to do that quickly. It's kind of hard to do holding it up at an angle. If you don't keep it tight, your work will come undone just like that and you'll have to redo. So keep it nice and tight. All right, we've made it back to the beginning. And now there's no rhyme or reason to the next part. You're just gonna continue to loop around the nails and you're gonna go any old crisscross pattern, any direction that you want. There's no right or wrong way until the line's gonna zigzag back and forth. I'm not attaching it right now, obviously, but you get the idea. It's gonna zigzag back and forth and your color's gonna become more solid until you have as much string on there as you would like. I will go ahead and fill in this real quick here, just a little bit more. You can see that I've gone across, and you can just keep looping and keep looping, like I said, until this part is as thick and full of color as you would like it to be. And when you get to the end, you're just going to tie another knot. So cut your string this time and tie another knot. Nice and snug there. And then once again, you're gonna, if you want to glue around your knot so to help it stay so it doesn't come undone later, you can do that. And then cut your tail. And then you have a great piece of art to keep for yourself or give to a friend.